Welcome to your Inspirational Astrology Horoscope for Thursday, May 30th, 2013. I'm astrologer David Palmer, here to illuminate the collective consciousness. Well, there is a lot to think about today as Mercury is on its last day in Gemini, moving into Cancer tomorrow, and then Mars on the last day in Taurus, moving into Gemini. So we have a big shift that's happening tomorrow. Today, there's a lot to understand. It's the prep before we move into another shift. And today there's a lot to think about in your mind, a lot to process, a lot to feel. The moon's gonna finish up in Aquarius today, and there's a lot of different perspectives to so many things in our life, different angles, but the moon does move into Pisces. But before it does, it makes a perfect trine to Mercury, so I think it's important to listen to your feelings, listen to the excitement. And then as the day kind of progresses, things get a little funky because the moon does come into Pisces, and it is gonna start making its square over to the sun, this 3/4 square. So it's interesting here. We're gonna have to go more into our feelings, make sure that our mind and our soul are working together. There's a lot of that happening where we're having to oh, are we making the right move kind of energy? Are we making the right understanding? And Mars is gonna move into Gemini here, and things are gonna pick up really quick here starting this weekend, and more moves forward, more of going into the direction that we're hoping in a way is the right way, that we think so. We kind of are walking into this next couple weeks here with the blinders on, where we have to go with what we think is right, kind of go by what the numbers say, look right, but listen to that gut. That gut is trying to come through, even though we think we know. We've got to listen to it. And that's what this is really building for. It's also building for Saturn and Neptune in a perfect trine now. Saturn has retrograded to 5 degrees, and it is in perfect trine with Neptune, which is about to go retrograde as well, by the way. It's at its stationary position. So Neptune is pretty much stopped. Intuition as well is a little bit weird right now. You know, you're really having to sharpen the tool of your gut, sharpen the tool of your intuition, at the same time while we're sharpening the mind. So when you're sharpening both, you know, it's like, which one do I use and which one is sharper than the other? This is kind of confusing. This is confusing. But with Saturn and Neptune, the universe is really setting in motion so much beauty to your emotional fields to really create the life that is right for you, to create your truth, to make your dreams come reality, to make your intuition be stronger. And the work really is defining your truth, to decide on what is the best route based off your truest desires. And you got to look inside. This isn't mind energy, even though we're focusing on how the mind is going to react to how you emotionally feel. And we're going to be sensitive. The next couple days are going to be sensitive as we're kind of moving forward with the blinders on. Our thoughts are changing. Things are changing. Our perception is changing. Our idea of life is changing. And it can be a little sensitive. You're going to feel the energy. Tonight, the moon and Neptune start to meet up with this trine to Saturn. So we got to anchor ourselves in how we feel and make sure that the mind listens to it. Make sure that the mind isn't telling us the wrong idea of what our feelings are truly trying to feel. And I think that this perfect trine of the moon and Mercury today give you the ability to understand the emotions in this epiphany way, but then we step into tonight and can almost question and almost go, I don't know, and really start to ponder if what we are thinking is right, if what we're doing is right. Mars on the end of Taurus here is like a very intense degree, a very intense energy to just want to have it the best way possible. And then you step into Gemini and it's like, let's go. So there's going to be a lot of forward movement, but partly with the blinders on. And it's about how are you going to understand how to move forward with this. You're going to have to sharpen your emotions. You're going to have to sharpen your mind. You're really going to have to pay attention and take your time, because starting tomorrow, things are going to not have much time. There's going to be like wham, 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 and the universe is going to throw you into an understanding to see if you're living in your truth, that if you're able to access your soul, access your emotions. And we're going to go deep into this. I'm actually going to start a big webinar which is going to come right before Jupiter comes into Cancer, which is going to be the summer of swimming in your soul. That's what I'm going to call it. So I'm going to put that information up coming soon, but this is going to be a very powerful summer. Wow. Jupiter is going to be doing a lot. It's going to tap into the Pluto-Uranus square. It is going to be a summer to remember. It's going to create a grand trine. This summer is what we were working on for the last year. So make your right moves off your truth still. The blinders are not needed as long as you're intuitively knowing what you truly desire at the core and you just keep going for that. We can get confused in so many other things. Just try not to get so confused. Today, anchor in your sensitivities. Have compassion for yourself. And make sure that your mind and emotions and your soul are finding a way to come together and find harmony within by having the compassion, by letting the flow happen. But more importantly, making sure that you're taking the time to think things over and making the best move possible. Check out my website, inclusiveastrology.com. If you want a one-on-one reading with me, also check out, coming up by tomorrow, I'm gonna have MP3s of your individual sign. That's right, they're an MP3 about back to the root, getting back to your core, about whenever you're in a bad mood, whenever you're in a weird position in your life, you throw in this 20-minute MP3 and I get you back into your core of the sign that you are. So get ready for this. It's coming out tomorrow on inclusiveastrology.com. But until then, one-on-one readings are on my site, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.